We need to limit how long politicians serve. Nathan, what truly seems broken beyond repair is common sense within our American society. We want no deficit spending, but how dare the government cut Social Security or Medicare? We want no new taxes, but we complain when cops are laid off. We say kick out all the incumbents, but then routinely give our local congressman high marks. In other words, we each think that we're okay, but our neighbors are sucking the country dry. What appears to be fundamentally broken is our collective logic. But is big government necessarily bad government? My next guest says it is, and I'm inclined to agree with him. Representative Ron Paul won the presidential straw poll at last week's Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, much to the dismay of Mitt Romney and Sarah Palin and Tim Pawlenty and a bunch of other mainstream Republican hopefuls. Ron Paul is a congressman from the 14th District in Texas. He's a former presidential candidate, and he's been warning all of us about a lot of these issues for a long time. We're delighted to welcome you to our program. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Jack. Good to be with you.
Let me bounce two numbers off you. Recent CNN polls, 86% of Americans think our government is broken. 75% of Americans think government officials are dishonest. When you look to the future of this country, what do you see?
It's because we're broke, and the people now feel like they've been lied to. They call them dishonest, and there's a lot to that. Politicians tend to say things and they don't follow through, whether it's in the category of lying or not, but it certainly is a lot of untruths that are passed around out there. But I don't see any easy way out, because when a country or an individual is broke, they're supposed to quit spending money, and they're supposed to pay off their bills. But the only thing that we've done here in Washington, the admission that there's a crisis going on, is we've accelerated everything. We've expanded government, expanded spending, expanded borrowing, and of course expanded the function of the Federal Reserve, that is to create more money and credit to try to bail out the problems they created. So yes, we're in for a lot of trouble yet to come.
Present company accepted, do your colleagues in the nation's capital have any idea the increasing degree of contempt in which they're held by the American public?
Sometimes I don't think so, because they continue to do the same things that have gotten them into trouble. So no, I don't think so. I mean, the whole fact that you know, I may do well at a CPAC poll just totally amazes them. And I think
they actually booed when the results were announced. They were booing, right?
Yeah, and I think you're aware of the fact that a lot of young people, matter of fact, the people that came to CPAC were young people, a lot of college people, and you would think that the leadership would say, well, what is it that attracts the young people to what you're saying? But you know, I've never had anybody in the Republican Party ask me anything like that.
Why?
They don't seem to be interested. They want me to just disappear, and yet I think I've tapped into something, and at least there's a lot of people responding. But I have no political clout here in Washington. I don't have any power. So
I don't understand that either. I can remember during the primaries. I mean, I used to get email from your supporters by the bushel basketful almost every day. It was astonishing to me, the organization and the depth of the support you had. Why doesn't your message resonate with the establishment in Washington?
Well, it challenges the status quo. It challenges what they've been saying for so many years. I don't think they want to say, oh, we made a mistake, we were at fault. Yes, we should have been more cautious about what we do overseas. They do not want me to have anything to say about foreign policy. And I take an older Republican position on this, the old right position and a constitutional position. I think we should be cutting back. I don't think we should be spending $1 trillion a year on militarism around the world. And, you know, it's not only the Republicans, but the Democrats want to do it too.
Let me ask you about something you said right at the beginning of the segment, that there's a bankruptcy in our future. Our national debt is at $12 trillion. The expectation is it'll be $19 trillion at the end of the president's first term. That's 3 years, a little less from now. We have probably $35 to $50 trillion in unfunded liabilities for Medicare and Social Security. No clue where that money's going to come from. How long before this country goes belly up, and what form will it take, do you think, when we roll over?
Well, that's a big question, and if we don't clean up our act, it can be very bad, very dangerous, and political chaos could ensue. But the fact that they don't do anything is the annoying part. But I just think that you know, within 2 or 3 years, the country is technically bankrupt. If you or I were in business and ran like this, we would have to declare bankruptcy. Government's print money so they can get away with it. But we are insolvent,
right.
and the debt will never be paid for. That's a hard thing to accept. But you can't pay for this debt. But a debt will be liquidated. The market always liquidates debt, and governments always liquidate debt by destroying the currency. They pay off their debt with bad money, and that's what we're in the process of doing. We took the bad debt of those banks and we dumped it on the American taxpayers deliberately. So it's a transfer of wealth right now that's going on.
And ultimately, it destroys everybody's savings and all of our assets, the worth of all of our homes, businesses, etc. Congressman Paul, thanks for that uplifting discussion. It's great to have you on the program. I wish you'd run again, and I wish the American public would start listening to you, but I guess, you know, wishes are wishes. But anyway, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us today.
In spite of it, I'm still an optimist because the young people are listening.
All right,
Thank
partner.
you.
Thanks very much. Congressman Ron Paul from Texas.